What is the journey of blood around the body? What does it look like, feel like, sound like? In just 3 months, a team of 2 scientists, 3 artists, a dance company, a musician and 60 young people had to develop a performance that would express this journey.
I thought the project was really interesting actually, because I've obviously worked with blood and blood cells for longer than I care to remember, but actually it gave me new insights.
I think it's gone brilliant because I learned a lot of things about what happened in our body.
Dance and science. I didn't even know how I learned about this quick.
It's been a real roller coaster. It's often been quite challenging working with them, but I think you can see that they've really enjoyed it and they've got a lot out of it. One Blood was developed with a number of different creative partners, working with a secondary school. The idea was to develop an art science project which would explore a scientific theme or topic, but express that through the performing arts, particularly dance, but also using visuals and music. It was unusual at the beginning because we had a whole table of 14 different creative people and the teachers, all trying to decide how do you express the journey of blood through the body.
It's a challenging thing to do, to bring together a huge disparate range of professionals from different fields into a school setting which obviously has its own tensions. Obviously you've got to manage the project against the needs of the students in the wider curriculum. So it's challenging, but it's ultimately, we think, worthwhile.
We quickly tried to move away from words and talking about it through either writing it down or talking about it together. We quickly tried to get it in some kind of visual form and some kind of musical sound form, and also looked at what the actual movements of the dancers would be.
Yeah, but not a man.
I think the young people really were very excited about the project, and I think they warmed more and more to it, and they were very encouraged because Michael, who works with me, and Gary and Niku were very keen with Streets of Growth to kind of get them enthusiastic about the cross between the science and the dance, and they took that on board, and they tried to run with that all the time throughout the process.
Go down slowly and see that one. There you go. See? And that's
Can everybody sit down, please? Everybody sit down. You see roll out. Sit down, please. Just stand. Listen, you really don't have to wear jewellery when you're doing performance.
I'm not wearing jewellery. I'm not wearing jewellery.
No. It's that. You have to get rid of that. Come up with the label. Gee. It's going good. It's going good now. We've just had a quick run through. Just with the music, but now there's a slight technical hitch in terms of the visuals and sound coming out of the same place, or not same place, but splitting the sound from the visuals. So they're sorting that out with the technicians now. But then the kids are that sound. The kids are now just trying on the costumes, and we're going to do it with the visuals, sound, and costumes. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
I think we're learning more and more about science and dance as well. I couldn't do some of the dance bits, but now I can. We're practicing a lot now, and everyone knows the moves and stuff, and yeah, it's gonna go. I think it's gonna go alright.
Is there anything you're worried about
Well, basically, Anna, she might forget the moves. We did the same moves over again, and for her, I had to do extra little bit for her just to make her understand, and I need another teacher to explain it to her properly. She goes, it's too fast for her, but even if we do as slow as we can, she won't get it.
Battle Gary.
they were rehearsing and then they were getting used to working on stage, but I think this is the first time they've actually got used to being in the space, because normally what happens, they're all over the place and they're talking, chewing gum on their phones. But now, you know, because they're in the space and they see the lights and there's a lot of people around, and now they're beginning to, you know, hold up a lot better than they normally would.
We had two artists as part of the One Blood team, Abigail Hunt and Yvonne Coughlin, who both work in very different ways. So they were working with the students to create these wonderful paper constructions and also oil paintings, oil sort of blood paintings. And then these creations were filmed by artist Nick Sandiland, who's a digital artist, and it was the moving image that was actually used as part of the performance.
Quite a lot of the visuals have actually been incorporated into the backdrop for the dancers. We did some quite detailed anatomical drawings of the heart, but some of the students actually were very imaginative actually in the way they responded. So we had a sort of colour focus, which was red and blue. Those have been used as acetates in the performance. Also, something that hasn't been used in the performance itself, but actually the students got masses out of, was making a 3D model of the clotting process of blood, using all sorts of things like sticky back plastic, Haribos as little blood cells, string, paper, to actually make a sort of, I suppose, a science model. And all of these things actually were so sort of like quite hands-on things we used in the classroom, and they were backed up with sort of like with, I suppose, science knowledge.